Okay. So now can we start?
Yeah, sure, sir.
Okay. So, Priyawala, till where we have finished in the last class? Slide number, which one? Have you finished with the different types of sampling methods?
Yes, sir. We
Simple
had
random
finished.
sampling, stratified sampling, systematic sampling, right?
Yes, sir.
So now, which we need to do? We have finished, I think, with merits and the limitations of systematic sampling, right? We have
Yes, sir.
finished all.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now we have to start with okay, just a minute. Okay. Okay. So now we have started with the cluster sampling, right? In the last class. Okay. So now this next stage will go to cluster sampling. Now, anybody can you tell me what is the cluster sampling and where do we use it? So we have already done with the probability sampling. Under probability sampling, we have done with randomized sampling, systematic sampling, stratified sampling. Okay. Then we have got cluster sampling. Can any of you tell me what is a cluster sampling? Any idea? Because since you all are somewhere related with public health, you have been doing, and it is very commonly used in the area of public health. Yes. Anyone? Any idea? Yes, Roshan.
Sir, I was not in the last class due to some
Premi.
stay at home.
Yeah.
So
Yes. Yeah, Roshan. You are saying
I
something.
was, yeah, I was not in the last class due to some issues at home. So I'll have to look it up first.
I could not get you. What are you saying, Roshan?
I said I couldn't attend last class, so I was
Okay,
not.
you could not attend last class. Okay. No issues, no issues. Okay. Yes, anybody else? Yumnam? Yumnam? Premi? Anyone? Any idea? So see, cluster sampling. Suppose I want to know that I don't want to know the prevalence of say I want to know the physical activity status in a particular population. Okay, so what I can do, I can basically, like, if it is a larger area, I can divide into north, east, west, south. I can divide them into further blocks. Okay, like you have been doing a lot of studies on tuberculosis, HIV/AIDS. If you want to really know the status of a particular disease, so what you will do, you will divide it into various blocks, and there you can randomly you can choose certain houses. You can go over there. You can do a cross sectional study. Okay, or you can simply give a questionnaire, and you can know the status of that particular disease in that area. So here, since it is called cluster as you mean, it is a group. So it is basically, it is the other name for cluster sampling is also known as two-stage sampling. So the first stage, you choose the sample of the areas is chosen, and in the second stage, the sample of the respondents. So either randomly or every fifth house, or either, like, so accordingly you can divide it accordingly. Okay. So here, because randomly, suppose you are choosing from somewhere, so sometimes the sampling error can be very high. So is it clear to everyone? Any doubts in this? What is the cluster sampling? Yes, Priyawala.
Yes, sir. Clear.
Clear? Okay. Wajid, is it
Yeah,
clear?
yes, sir. I got it.
Okay, good. Okay, now we will come to various terms, which is very, very commonly we will use in research methodology as well as in biostatistics. So one is variable. So what is a variable? What is a variable? Okay, so variable is basically a characteristics about each individual elements of a population or a sample. Okay, so whenever we are doing any study, so we will be talking about a characteristic which we are going to define in a population or a sample. For example, now suppose I've got two groups of patients in each group. So my research study is I want to compare between drug A and drug B. So on one hand, I've got brufen, and in the other group, I have got diclofenac sodium, and I want to know like which drug will work better in pain management in osteoarthritis. Okay, so what I'm going to see, I am going to, so what is my dependent variable? What is my independent variable? So variable, if I am taking, it is taking, I am talking about a characteristic. So can any one of you tell me which is a dependent variable and which is an independent variable in patients when you are dealing with patients with osteoarthritis? What is a dependent variable? What is an independent variable? Yes.
I think the dependent variable will be the patient and the dependent variable will be the drugs.
So dependent variable will be
The patients
patients. Okay. And independent variable?
will be the drugs.
The drug. So that means the intervention what we are giving. Okay, so intervention what we are giving or the treatment what we are giving are the independent variable, and the dependent variable are the But can you see the patient just like that? So we will choose various characteristics in a patient. For example, for osteoarthritis, if to compare whether drug A is better or drug B is better. So there is two level of hypothesis. Okay, either the first level is A is equal to B, which is called the null hypothesis. That means whether you give whether you give brufen or whether you give diclofenac, it will have the same effect. Okay, alternatively you can say A is not equal to B. That means either A is greater than B or B is greater than A. That is, either one drug is superior to each other. Okay, that is it. So when you say an intervention or the treatment, it is called the independent variable. Whereas what is the dependent variable? The dependent variable will be, yes, can any of you tell me what is the dependent variable over here?
That's
So
the
like
patient practice.
yeah, like the patient characteristics, like in osteoarthritis, what could be the patient characteristics?
60 plus, then
But that is the age.
yes, weakness, pain in the knee joints, morning
Okay,
stiffness.
okay. So stiffness is one. Pain, the most commonest is pain, right? So because you want to see whether drug A will be better in mitigating the pain or drug B will be better in mitigating the pain. So one could be pain, other could be range of motion, because in osteoarthritis person won't be because of pain, the range of motion in knee joint will be not will be affected. And third could be functional independence. Like for example, you can take up a questionnaire and see the quality of life in that patient, and if the quality of life decreases or increases, okay, if the quality of life improves, in which group will it improve more, which group will you able to counter pain more, which group will be able to increase the range of motion. So according to that criteria, you will be able to choose whether drug A is better or drug B is better. So now suppose if I am doing some research, okay, in the field of public health, and I want to know this type of a thing. So what could be, how I am going to measure pain in my patients? How I'm going to measure pain?
On a scale of 1 to 10.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, what is it called? What is the tool called? Yes, Yumnam. What is this tool called? What Roshan just said, you will measure it from between a scale from 0 to 10. You are right. So there are two different types, three different types, in fact, four different types. Can any of you tell me what can be the various tools to measure pain? Because see, outcome measures are very, very important. And outcome measures will be dependent on what type of a dependent variable you are taking. So pain, range of motion, and functional index will be a dependent variable over here. Whereas the drug or the intervention what you are giving will be an independent variable. So yes, Priyobala, can you tell me how you can measure pain? Like Roshan said, you will measure from 0 to 10. Then what is this called? What is this tool called?
Sorry, sir, I don't have any idea.
Okay, Wajid,
I don't know,
Premi,
sir.
Yumnam, anyone? Okay, the tool is known as VAS, Visual Analog Scale. Don't forget it, okay? VAS, VAS. VAS stands for visual analog scale. 0 means no pain. So you will ask the patient to rate your pain from 0 to 10. 0 means no pain. 10 means so severe pain that you have ever experienced in your life. And you ask the patient to rate your pain from 0 to 10. The other tool that can be used for the same purpose is known as NPRS, Numeric Pain Rating Scale. NPRS. It is also a form of the VAS, but here you will mark it from 0 to 100. Okay. The third type of tool that we can all use to measure pain could be McGill Pain Questionnaire. That is also a type of a questionnaire. Okay. Then in cases of trigger points, we use a tool which is known as algometer. So there can be different types of tools that we can all use in order to measure pain. Okay. So this is one way like you are measuring this variable. Okay. How you are going to measure range of motion? How we can measure range of motion? Because see,
Range of
after
motion can be
yes,
measured by asking the patient to move his legs. We can measure the angles
angles.
from,
So what
yes.
what is the tool that we use to measure the angle? Like if you have to measure temperature,
Mm.
because when a patient will come, you will measure temperature using thermometer. You will measure
Yeah,
your
okay.
blood pressure using sphygmomanometer, right? So what is the tool that we use to measure range of motion? Yes, anyone? It is called goniometer. It's called goniometer. Okay.
Yeah, I,
So
I I I've heard about it. Forgot for a while.
okay, okay, no issues. So, see, what I mean to say is, as a public health, because see, when tomorrow you will be dealing, suppose you are working on certain projects. So, it is not only because, see, it is a very scientific element. So, you should know how you are planning your study. You should know what is your what type of a patient group you will be working upon. What are the characteristics of those patients? What are the demographic characteristics? What is the age? What is the gender? What type of a characteristic they will have, what type of symptoms they will have. Based on this, what type of a public health intervention you are going to give at a mass level. Okay, how you are going to record those responses, what could be the better way to record that responses, what is the validity and the reliability of the tools that you are going to use. Okay, how do you measure validity and reliability of any tool? By the way, can any of you tell me the difference between validity and reliability? Like, for example, if I say, because see, these are very important concepts when we deal with research methodology and biostatistics. Because unless and until, because it's a scientific way of doing the things. What is the evidence? So if I ask anyone, if suppose I am saying, okay, thermometer is a valid and a reliable tool to measure temperature. Okay. So what do you mean by validity? What do you mean by reliability?
Validity, I think it's something uh, that can measure accuracy, something like that, sir. And
Okay.
then
Okay.
reliability is something that can be reproduced again and again.
Okay. So validity means, so see, these are important concepts. Validity means it is the property of an equipment or an instrument, okay, that is able to measure which it is intended to measure. It is the property of an instrument or an equipment to be able to measure what it is intended to measure. It is a very, very important phenomenon. Now, there are different types of validity. We'll to come to what is a construct validity, what is face validity, what is content validity, what is criterion validity. So, we'll come to those points. But before that, we need to understand, like, see, if I want to measure temperature, I will use a thermometer. I won't use a weighing scale. But if I have to measure weight, I will use a weighing scale. If I have to measure pressure, I will use a BP apparatus. If I want to measure pain, I will use a. So it is the property of that equipment which is able to measure. Now, how accurately it is going to measure? Like, for example, in the morning, I am taking your weight. It is coming to be, suppose, 70 kgs. After just 2 minutes, again, somebody else measured, it is coming 74 kgs. That means it is not reliable, because it is giving, when you are measuring, it is giving some other reading. When I am measuring it, so if it is, if the it is the property of the measure to give the correct reading time and again, irrespective of person, place, timing, anything, that is known as reliable. Is it clear? So that's why, if our tool, whatever tool we are using, it should be both valid as well as reliable. Like, for example, the government of India said, like in COVID, the total number of deaths was 5 lakhs, 7 lakhs. But in actual, WHO said it is around 46 lakhs. So the way that we are measuring it was not a valid and a reliable tool, because there was fudging in the data. You got that point? So when we are working on a population level, what type of a census do we use? Okay, how we are using those those equipments? Like, because in whenever you are studying public health, the socio political, economic, all these factors plays a very, very important role, because all these things has a very important impact upon health issues. So so with this, then we come to the second thing, which is data. Now, see, what is the purpose of data? Why do we collect data, and why data has become such an important thing in this world? What is the purpose of data? Because in a government hospital, whatever patient you are running various types of programs. You are running anemia project, you are running HIV/AIDS, you are running tuberculosis project, you are running so many projects under NRHM and all those projects. So what is the, and you are collecting a lot of data. So what is the purpose of data? And what, as a public health specialist, tomorrow, what is expected out of you? Why you are studying MPH? What is the benefit that you are going to give? What type of value you are going to add to this?
The collection of
Yes.
data is the collection of data is required for an organization or an office or for any program
Hmm.
to show the effectiveness of that study, that particular program or that organization.
Okay, see, we have data in a health organization. We have data in stock market. We have data as a true representative of how your country. Because suppose India, in like India is a developing country. So what has now, see, there's a lot of hue and cry now. You see now, this government is saying we have done so much good work. There's so many. So how many of you believe? Because see, you are all educated people. Tomorrow you will be working as public health specialist. Tomorrow you might be working with WHO, UNICEF. You might be working on the government stats. So how much of you believe in those stories of the data? So now data is very important. Everywhere, in every field, you will have data. Now my question was, why we are collecting data? What is the purpose of data? Okay, you have given, it is going to tell me if my program is effective, if my program is cost effective. It is going to tell, like, who are the beneficiaries, who are all this. But what exactly is it? The same, the data I can tell you, okay, the drug was effective or not. But actually, what is the purpose of data? Are you understanding my question?
Yes, sir. Okay,
Yeah.
data makes information, sir. So in order to
Okay,
get information, the actual information, so we need to collect the data first. So,
okay.
say, let's say in a specific area, if we
Hmm.
like to mm, know the amount of a disease, then we have to collect the data first. The data is the building blocks of information. First, we collect the
Information.
data
Very
and
good.
yeah.
Very good. Okay. So see, the important purpose over here is the important. See, what is the purpose of data? Data has to be converted into information. Information has to be converted into knowledge, and knowledge has to be converted into wisdom. Okay. So this is the purpose of, because unless and until, and now data is the petrol, next petrol of the world. Because without data, whatever, like on Google, how come Facebook is reading your behavior, like which websites you are searching, how, like the every time, like you must have seen, the next time when you go to Google and you do, it is going to pop up a new type of advertisement in front of you. Have you noticed? Like suppose you are searching for a particular type of a thing on internet, after sometimes a lot of pop-ups you will get, like understanding for similar type of story, or you go to Netflix, you watch a particular type of movie, and then it will recommend you, since you have watched this movie, would you like to watch these movies more? Have you noticed this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So what exactly it is again reading your behavior. It is working on different predictive models. So now you have got chat GPT, artificial intelligence, machine learning. This is all reading your behavior, because the machine is reading your behavior day and night. So what is the purpose? That the data has to be converted into information. Information is converted into knowledge. Now suppose this knowledge is very important. If the marketing company knows that what type of product you are basically using, and so again, the same principle goes if you are working on Flipkart, if you are doing shopping, you are searching for anything or particular type of information. So your 24-hour behavior it is working. So what is data exactly? It is a set of values which is collected for those variables. For example, if I'm taking pain, I will get a set of data. If I'm taking about range of motion, it is a particular set of data. If I'm giving any drug, so tomorrow I might ask whether 100 mg will be good, or 200 or 500 or 1000 or 2000. So again, this is data. So data has to be converted into information. Information has to be converted into knowledge. Knowledge has to be converted into wisdom. Like suppose in a public health program, I might use two different type of intervention. In some program, I would say, okay, I will give a direct cash benefit. There is a direct cash transfer. And in other case, in order to promote the public health program, I would say, okay, I will give some type of a coupon system like a kind. Okay. So I will say, well, which model will work much better? Whether when we are doing direct transfer cash to the patient's account, or when we are motivating them by using different type of other incentives. So again, this can be a different, so different types of data will have, like for example, now in artificial intelligence, the data is the pictorial graph. That is when you are having a MRI. So in an MRI, I can read the pixels very easily. So what a human eye cannot see, the machine can see, and the machine, by using artificial intelligence, can easily detect whether the person is suffering from tuberculosis or not. In the same manner, we can read in radiology, we can read about the various types of stroke. Okay, and we can tell the machine can itself tell. So teleradiology is the new science. Again, here the machine is reading data. So data is what? It is a set of values which is collected for the variables from each of the elements belonging to that sample. And for doing this thing, suppose we have to do some experiment. So in public health, you can do a cross sectional study, you can do a interventional study, you can use do a case control study, you can do an RCT, you can do a meta analysis, you can do a cohort study. So there can be different type of studies. That so for anything when we do, we are basically trying to do certain experiments. Okay, so what is an experiment? It is a planned activity whose results yield a set of data. So suppose we want to see the behavior in a population, or we want to see like how the coronavirus is behaving. So again, there could be different type of trials or experiments that can be done. And for doing now, suppose like I said, you try you want to see the efficacy of drug, and we have means we have divided that into two groups. So it is group A and group B. So you want to say group A is equal to B, or group A is greater than B, or group B is greater than A. So for this, whatever I am summarizing, like some first patient came, I noted down the pain level. So suppose before giving the drug, the pain was, say, the patient, I asked the patient, how much was your pain? The patient said 8. I gave the treatment. After treatment, like I asked day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. After 5 days, we asked the patient, how much is your pain now? The patient said 3. Again, patient number 2 came. The patient said, my pain, I have got too much of pain. The patient was pain was 9. After 5 days, the pain, after 5 days of treatment, the patient said 9. My pain is 4. So can I say 8 minus 3 is equal to 9 minus 4? Yes. Can I say the pain, the relief of pain in group, the in first patient is equal to the relief of pain in the second patient? Yes,
Technically, yes, sir.
technically yes. Yes, Yumnam, what do you think?
Sir, I can't get it, sir.
You cannot, you didn't get it. I am saying, I just now I discussed the example. I have got two groups of patient. In the first group, I've got 10 patients. In the second group, again, I've got 10 patients. When the first patient came, I asked, how much is your pain? I asked the patient on a pain rating scale. The patient said, Doctor Saab, bahut dard hai. I've got too much of pain. I said, okay, if 0 is no pain and 10 means very severe pain, how much you will rate your pain? So it is a patient reported outcome measure. This is known as PROM, patient reported outcome measure. So the patient said, my pain is 8. So we said, okay, no problem. You take this medicine. After 5 days, you come. After 5 days, you ask the patient, how much is your pain now? Now the patient is saying, my pain has gone down. I will ask the patient, okay, rate your pain. The patient said 3. The next patient came. The next patient said, my pain was 9. Now from 9, now it has reduced to 4. So can I say pain, reduction of pain in patient number 1, that is 8 minus 3 is equal to 9 minus 4? Like the reduction of pain in the first patient and the reduction of pain in the second patient is same. Yes, Yumnam. Now is the question clear to you?
Yes, sir.
So can I say change of pain behavior in patient number 1 is equal to change of pain behavior in patient number 2?
Might be, sir.
What do you mean by might be?
It might be same, sir.
Okay, like 8 minus 3 is equal to 9 minus 4. Yes, Wajid, what do you say?
Sir, actually, sir, I've already answered it, sir. Technically, yes, sir.
Technically, yes. Okay,
Yeah, I've already.
okay. Yumnam as Premi.
Yes, sir, I think it will be same.
It will be same. Okay.
Mm.
Like, even though
Yes,
the
Sir,
math,
sir, what I expect is it can be different.
it is not the same. It is different.
Yes, sir. Because
Why?
everyone's pain cannot be same. A patient can
Okay.
be different type of pain and the B patient can be different type of pain. So we
Okay.
cannot say the reduction of the pain is same. We cannot say like that. So A is better in another way can be, and B can be better in another way.
Okay. Okay. But you're saying
So
that
according,
the change of pain is not the same. Means
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
okay. Okay. Okay, but why? Why? Because the first patient said my pain was 8, now it has come to 3 because you are measuring it. The second patient said my pain was 9, now it is 4.
Yes,
So
sir. But
both the gain is of 5 and 5. That means the pain decreased by 5 in both the cases,
yes, sir.
right?
So numerically it's similar, but
Hmm.
the type pain can be different. What I expect.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, anybody else want to comment upon this? Yes, Roshan, you were saying something.
Uh, I would like to agree with Dr. Priyabala regarding
Hmm.
this thing. Like, even though the severity of the pain on patient A, even though they have been reduced by the same amount,
Hmm.
uh, team A started with more pain.
Hmm.
Team B's severity was slightly on the lesser side.
Okay. Okay.
Even though
All of
even though they have the pain reduction is the same,
hmm.
team B's pain is still team A pain is still more than team B pain.
Okay. So the gain is not the same, you are saying.
I'm saying that the reduction may be the same,
Huh.
but the end result
Will not be the same.
nine
Yes.
minus 4 end result is like the reduction from 9 to 4. The team this thing the group A has more pain than group B.
Hmm. Hmm. So what exactly you are trying to say? Because see, if even the reduction of pain we are saying is the same, but still the pain is not the same because pain is a subjective behavior. Pain is a subjective phenomena. In medical science, whenever you will be dealing with patients, there will be subjective and objective. Okay. So now suppose, because see, you have seen people like in like a person, like suppose even with a simple pinprick, somebody will have a severe means uh, severe perception of pain, right? And there might be some person who has where the person is being shot by a bullet, but still the perception of pain won't be that much, isn't it? So since pain in both the, yes, in terms of gain we can say, but actually we cannot say that A is equal to B because the perception of pain for every person is different, and since pain is a subjective phenomena, it is not an objective phenomena. It's not like blood, like because in the blood if you are checking for WBC, RBC, it will be the same. Okay, you can simply say whether this person is suffering from anemia or not. Because if the value goes less than 10, you will say, okay, this person is suffering from this disease. But in terms of when you talk about subjective phenomena, because perception of those things for every person is different. Is it clear to everyone? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So in these cases, that's why it is very, very important to highlight this phenomena, because when you deal with people, the people perception and whatever you are means noting down. Like for example, we are measuring VAS, we are measuring range of motion, we are measuring functional index. Okay, like for example, if I am so again, all of these are the numerical values which is summarizing the data. For example, I will find mean, I will find mode, I will find median mode, I will find range, I will find interquartile deviation, I will find um, uh, a standard deviation. So all of these are basically numerical values which is summarizing the data. So that is known as statistic. So there's a difference between statistic and parameter. Whenever you will summarize the data for a population level, it is known as parameter. So please don't forget this thing. It is very, very important. Whenever you are summarizing all of these, whenever we are summarizing the data, for example, what does this mean? What does this mean? Like, for example, like just now I have said, I have got 10 patients. Okay. I've got 10 patients in group A. So now suppose I have got 10 patients. So first patient, the pain was 9, second patient 8, 7, 5, 9, 8, 5. So suppose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 5, 9, 7. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So how much is 9 plus 8? 17. 17 plus 7 is 24. 24 plus 5 is 29. 29 plus 9 is 38. 38 and 8 plus 8 is 46. 46 and 10 is 56. 56 and 9 is 65. 65 and 7 is 72. So 72 divided by 10 is coming to be 7.2. So 7.2 is my mean pain. So mean pain in a sample, it is known as statistic. So whenever you will find, so mean pain, so whenever you will find mean, median, mode in a sample population, it will be always called by the name statistic. Is it clear to everyone? What is a statistic? Yes. Is it clear to everyone? What is a statistic?
The parameters that we get from a given collection of data
Ah,
can either be mean, mode, or median in a sample is the statistics.
Is the statistic. And the same thing when we find out in a population, it is known as parameter. It will be called as parameter. Parameter. For a sample, we will measure the same thing, it is known as statistic. Simple. Is it clear?
Yes, sir. Excuse me, sir. Hello.
Yeah.
So, previously, recently you are talking about prom, something like.
Just a minute. Just a minute.
Yeah.
Yours. Yes. What was your question?
So, recently, sir, you were talking about prom, something like prom, PROM.
PROM. Yes.
Can you please explain it again?
Okay. PROM stands for patient reported outcome measure. PROM. So patient reported outcome measure. Okay. So patient reported outcome measure means what the patient is saying. Okay. So these are different. There are different types of measure. Like you have got a tool known as SF12. I will just explain all these points. So what is the patient? So there are different type of outcome measures. So outcome measures are those measures, but these are those tools which we use in order to know the effectiveness of any intervention, whether this intervention is effective or not. Okay. So this can be done by measuring the disease. It can be used in a subjective way when we are giving like this one, like for example, if you are measuring any orthopedic problem in the elbow, and so we use a questionnaire which is known as called dash. So this is again a patient reported outcome measure which the patient is reporting. Okay. So that is PROM. Is it clear?
Yes, sir. Okay. Boys.
Okay. Okay. So these are the different things that we are going to use. Okay. And then when we'll be studying data, we will. So how many types of data you know? How many types of data do you know? Because we're this. Any idea? Anyone? Okay. How many types of researchers do you know? How is research classified? So research can be classified into qualitative research and quantitative research. Qualitative research we know do more in social sciences. where you want to know the phenomena, we don't want to know the nature and other thing. In medical sciences, we do quite a lot of quantitative research because you have got a lot of values. You can quantify the things. Okay. Now, based on this, because to do any research, you will require data. So data are of four types: nominal data, ordinal data, interval data, and ratio data. So data again are of four types. I will explain this further, but for the timing, you should remember the data, because we are talking about data again and again. So there are four types of data. One data is known as nominal data. The other type of data is known as ordinal data. The third type of data is interval data. The fourth type of data is ratio data. Okay. So whenever we do any study, we see it. So we should know what type of a data it is talking about. The research paper. Like, see, all of you are working. So I will also encourage you to write a research paper. I will help you to write a research paper, how you can write a research paper, how you can get it published. So in public health, these are things are very, very important. So for this, suppose we are doing some intervention or you are doing certain study, we should know what type of a data is my research paper talking about. So what is a nominal data? What is an ordinal data? What is an interval data? What is a ratio data? Okay. Nominal, ordinal, interval, ratio. So it is also known by the word NOIR. NOIR. To remember it. What are these? I will come to those points. Okay. So for the time being, is it clear? What are the four different types of data? Any doubt? Anything which is not clear in this class? Okay. So we have got. So now take this example. A college dean in a medical college is interested in learning about the average age of the faculty. So what is the population? The population is the age of all the faculty members in that college. What is the sample in this? The sample is the subset of that population. For example, we take any 10 population. Now there are 100 faculty members. So we can divide them from 30 to 40 years, 40 to 50 years, 50 to 60 years. So variable is the age in such faculty member. So the example. And data would be the set of values in each sample. For example, age. Experiment would be used to select the ages forming the sample. How we have divided into groups. What type of a. So based on ascending method or descending method. And statistic is the average age of all the faculty members in the sample. Okay. So from here we'll come to, like I told you, there are different types of data. There are different types of research. One is a qualitative data. Other is a quantitative data. Okay. So qualitative data is, I have told you. So what is the qualitative data? It is that data that describes or that categorizes or describes the element of a population. Okay. So that is, so it is also known as data or variable. So there are different names. It can be called as data. It can be called as variable. It can be called as attribute. It can be called as a categorical data. Qualitative data, categorical data, attribute, variable, they are the same names. So in the exam, if the question comes, don't get confused. So the qualitative data, attributable data, categorical data or variable is all the same thing. Okay. So based on this, you have got different type of data. So like I told you, different types of data. So like for example, like stages in a breast cancer. Stage 1, stage 2, okay, like stage 3, stage 4, like stages of a frozen shoulder, grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, okay, or type of pain, minimal pain, moderate pain, severe pain. So these are all different types of data. Degree of burns in a patient, okay, degree of injury, mild injury, moderate injury, severe injury. So arithmetic operations. So, there are different types of data and we will understand. So like I told you, there are four different types of variables. So variable can be divided into qualitative and quantitative. So qualitative, we have got two your interval and ratio data. So there is different. So now what is nominal? So now suppose you have got a group of patient, you are doing some subject. So whenever you divide something as in a particular category, okay, like male, female, like stage of cancer, your 1, 2, 3, like blood group A B O. Okay, so all these type of data where you are categorizing into a particular group, male, female, okay, age means this your blood group or stages of cancer. These are all this type of a data are known as nominal data. Okay, all this type of a data is known as nominal data. So in nominal data, you are just categorizing into one group. Like for example, when you are going to study in a patient like this osteoarthritis, and you ask simple, what is the age of the patient? What is the gender? So male, female. So you can say like I did a sample size of I did the study on 500 patient. Out of 500 patient, there were 230 males and 270 females. So this type of data is called as nominal data. Is it clear? Is it clear? Any
Yes, sir. Yes.
doubts? Okay. So this is a nominal data. Then what is an ordinal data? Now in ordinal data, you are describing, you are giving a degree. Okay. So like suppose we are saying like how much is the pain or what is the income level. So you are giving like some income level. Income level is minimal income, moderate income, or no, sorry, low income, middle income, high income. So whether which type of a country the data you are talking, because in public health we will use the economics data. So we'll say that the type of health infrastructure you are talking about a low income country, middle income country, high income country. So low, middle, high. But how much low, how much high, we cannot specify about it. But it is low income, middle income, high income. So there's a criteria. So this type of a data is known as ordinal data, or the stage of cancer, stage 1, 2, 3, 4. You know that 4 is more severe than 3, but how much severe that you don't know. Okay, or type of pain, mild pain, moderate pain, severe pain. So all these type of data is known as ordinal data. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so and then you have got quantitative data again can be classified into two categories. Like you have got discrete or continuous. So in discrete, you will say like 1, 2, 3, 4. Like how many children in a family? So it can be 1 child, 2 child, 3 child, 4 child. It can be more than 2 child. It can be 2 child. It can be more than 3 child. Okay, so that means we have a discrete, because the child could not be 1.1, 1.2. The child could not be like this. You cannot say this family has got 1.3 child. So either it is 1 or 2 or 4. So this type of a data is called discrete data. Okay, is it clear? And in
Yes, sir.
continuous data, you are where there's a continuous. For example, age. So you will say what is the age of the person? It is 61 years. Okay, 65 months and 2 days. So this is a age. So you have divided right into, so the more detailed numbers you have, the more specific you are, so more powerful is your data. So for example, time. So you can do what was the time of the injury. So you will say it was at 2 hours, 13 minutes and 4 seconds. So that means this value is giving you something, this is telling you something, this is telling you something. So up to decimal places, you can do it. Like for example, the values of hemoglobin, 14.5, or say blood pressure. So everything. So even after the decimal places, this carries a lot of value. So this type of a data is known as a continuous data. Or kilogram. Okay, this much kilogram, this much gram. So you can further divide. So quantitative data can be further divided into discrete or continuous. Is it clear?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. So these are the important things. Okay, so we will discuss more about quantitative data, and I think in the next class we'll start from. So what is nominal? What are the different types of nominal, interval, ratio? So in broad classification, I've told you, and we'll start in the next class. Okay, any doubts? Anything which is not clear?
Pretty much clear, sir. Please kindly inform Sima to share these slides that you have made for us.
Yeah, I've already shared in the group. I will again share it, okay? If you want. So this was, you can see. So I will again share it today. Okay, lecture 2, you see. Just a minute. This I will again share now. Now check. See. Okay. And if you go through the, I've also shared the lecture 1 as well. Check.
Thank you so much, sir.
Okay. So this you all study, and then we will resume this class in next week again. Okay. Thank you.
Good night, sir.
Okay. If
Okay,
there are
sir.
any
Good night,
doubts,
sir.
okay.
No, sir.
Good night. Take care. Bye.
Good night, sir.